What is up, everybody? Today, I'm gonna be reading scary stories, all right, on Reddit, on r/paranormal. I don't really go on here, but I'm bored and we're gonna see what we could do. It's gonna be scary. All right, so we're just gonna scroll, and then we're gonna start right here. Okay, by the user, financial zebra 3497. All right, let's see. All right, let's see what it says. I keep seeing dark shadows, not those tall figures a lot of people talk about, but rapid flashes that I can see through my peripheral vision. And then I look, there's nothing there. The better comparison I can do is that they look like a black cat following me. Short, languid, and horizontal shadows. And I have three cats, I know how it's like. I can't count the times I turned back to thinking one of them was behind me, but nothing was there. My mom sees them too, and as we're both psychics, I was wondering if any of you guys can answer for this weird phenomenon. All right, that was nothing. All right, now the lights are off. Getting real scary. All right, let's read this one. Something that had. Hold on. We'll read it. All right, something that has stuck with me for years, and this embodied voice my mom and I heard in 2019. All right. For context, in 2019, I was coming off the worst year of my life. 2019 was pretty cool, but whatever. I had just moved in with my parents in Arizona from Georgia. I had to drive across the country to get to their house. They already lived there. Okay. Sparing too many details, I always got an eerie feeling about the house. It was just a deeply unsettling place for some reason. Well, one night my family, being me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, had gone home from having dinner. My sister went to the bathroom at the far end of the hallway, and my dad took the dogs outside. Okay. Okay. My mom and I stood at the my mom and I stood at the other far end of the hallway where the door to my room was perpendicular to the door of my parents' room. And we spoke in the doorway. I swear on my life, both she and I heard a hushed voice right behind my mom saying, "Can they see us?" Bum bum bum. Okay. Anyway, I freaked out. I was already having a bad time with my mental health, so I demanded my dad go into the attic to see if anyone was up there. He did so sensually, and the attic was completely empty. I mean, I was scared. A few other things that happened in that house included the back door opening own, and on a still no wind day. Ooh. The house had a little door alarms. I guess it's what I'll call them. So I, alone at the home, heard a ding and saw the back door slowly wing open. No wind, no dog, nothing. I would also hear like whispering sometimes. The whole thing made me super paranoid and uncomfortable. When I finally moved into my own apartment, it all started along with the feelings of being like watched. I don't know, maybe you'll think it's silly, but I swear we both heard the voice whisper, "Can they see us?" I've had some spooky shoots happen before. Like it's an empty closet that my cousin and I both witnessed coming beneath the gap and the threshold, darting from right to left comes to mind. But there are other examples too, but this just sticks to me. Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you like hear stuff, but like, oh, my neck. But I don't know about that one. So let's just keep searching. Scroll. Okay, this one. Ooh, I don't know if I can read that one. No. Okay. Ooh, we'll read this one. Okay. From outrageous slash log dash 9407. Okay. Anyone experienced this disembodied demonic voice have? Oh my god. I don't know. I don't think I've have. Hopefully I won't. Oh, my neck. Okay, let's read it. Good afternoon. Wondering if anyone has experienced the following or can help me pinpoint what this was. I lived in severely haunted houses for 2 years. And why would you live there? And what finally led me to move out was this final experience. I couldn't sleep in my room, so I went to basement. Dumb, I know. The freak? To lay on couch. Why are they typing like this? I was there for about an hour when I heard the most otherworldly disembodied voice that felt like I was incredibly close to me. All the lights were off. The voice can be described as what sounded like a snake speaking. It was incredibly alluring, seductive, and like nothing I've ever experienced. The words flowed together, and I felt an incredible pull towards this energy. But also, my body reacted with intense fear. Looked at the clock, and it was 3:33 a.m. The speaking lasted about 30 seconds. Input. I honestly don't think this one's real. I mean, at first, it kind of sounded real. Like, when they went to the basement and, they hear stuff, they're probably like a little paranoid type. But, um, do they not remember anything they said? And especially when they said seductive, I'm like, bruh. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's find. Let's scroll. Let's scroll. Hold on. Whoops. Oh, I don't think we can read that. Okay. We'll read this one. We'll read this one. All right. By Kruval Rudebeg. Weird feelings after before death, looking for some answers. Okay. Sounds a little deep. No disrespect, by the way. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. Let's read. My grandfather passed away 1 month ago. I was in the house right before it happened, and I am looking for some explanation, some background. All right. I am 23-year-old female. I grew up in a haunted house in my early childhood until I was in high school. So I 100% believe I know that paranormal phenomenons are real. Okay. Once a year ago, my grandfather got diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia. Sorry. He tried everything he could to fight and beat his cancer, and ultimately his body couldn't handle and he was fighting for more time. My family knew he was going to pass sometime in the future, so we tried to spend as much time with him as we could. All right. Eventually, his treatment stopped working, and he got put in a hospice. All right. And at that point, I took lots of time off of work and spent hours on my aunt's house where he was studying. He declined, and 3 days before he died, he was no longer conscious and didn't have that much time. Oh, I'm so sorry. The deathbed story. All right. The day of his death, I heard he might die in a few hours. I came rushing over. I spent a few hours with the hospice nurse and my family, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Some more. Around 5:30 p.m., a really good family member who hasn't been able to come and visit, came over to the house to say goodbye. After saying her goodbye, she went outside with my aunt and they hanged out while drinking and smoking a little bit. That doesn't really seem pretty smart, Like somebody's dying and you're like drinking and smoking. I don't know. A few minutes after they went outside, I started feeling weird. I was getting a headache for the first time that day. I also started to get really hot, like I was getting the flu. At least that's what I thought at that time. I get up to go and drink some water and then sit down in my chair while drinking the water. I start feeling worse and I started feeling this heaviness in the room. Okay. My grandfather was already having death rattles at this point, and I was feeling so bad that I had to leave the room. So I head outside where my aunt and her friend are at and just sit. Immediately when I heard outside, I started feeling better. Nothing was getting worse than the headache. Hotness and heaviness were all fine. I let my aunt know, hey, he's doing death rattles, so you might want to go outside. She leaves while I stay outside for a bit longer. When I feel back to normal with a small residue headache, I head back inside. And as soon as I enter the house, those same feelings before hit me again, but at a full strength immediately. And on tip of that, the room felt dark, felt off. I don't know if I was the only one feeling this way or not, but everyone in that room were all standing and freaking out when everybody was calm and everyone was sitting beforehand. You know what? I think I'm reading terribly, but like I feel like it's not my fault. I think their grammar is just here. No disrespect. It's just not good. You know, I'm a pretty good reader, but like right now I feel like I'm reading horribly. My other aunt left to get food beforehand, so my dad calls her to tell her to get to the house fast. We all kind of realized it was happening now. My dad then sends me outside to make sure my aunt gets in the house fast. So again, I wait, and wait. As I start feeling normal outside, my aunt shows up taking her time getting out of the car and heading to the door. And when we head back inside, I feel nothing, completely normal. When my family saying he took his last breath right when my aunt pulled up in the car. My questions. I allowed time to think about what happened that night and have a few questions I want to ask the committee. Are those feelings normal before someone's death? Do the dark, heavy feelings mean he went to hell? Do those dark, heavy feelings mean he went peacefully or not? Thanks. I don't know about this one. Like, it kind of make like I don't know. Like, when that card, it's kind of understandable. You know, they were probably feeling feelings, but we're just probably natural. The dark, heavy feelings. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect the person right now. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. Oh, that one's just weird. Meeting Annabelle. What does this one say? Has anyone met Annabelle that would like to share how it went? Let's see. Let's read this one. Hello, is she traveling someplace or she's at a Warren Museum? You need to find out before from the new owners of the museum, Matt Raffon, on case of their manager. I don't want to read that. Let's read this. Let's see this. There's no audio. I'm talking about the little white dot. Bro. What the heck? People just be posting, huh? Alright, let's read this one. This one seems interesting. Alright. Let's read it. Let's see what it says. I thought my husband was on top of me, but it wasn't him. Sleep paralysis? I don't know. Seems like something else, you know. Doesn't seem like sleep paralysis to me just because of that title. Alright, let's get to reading. I think I just experienced sleep paralysis, and I honestly still a little shaking. You know what? I have weird dreams too. Sometimes I have like little like hallucinations type where I kind of see things, but my eyes are open when I'm trying to fall asleep. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know what our sleep stage that is, but it only happens like when I'm like super duper tired or when I've been. But we're gonna read this right now. So earlier today, I woke up around 9 a.m., but I was still really tired because I went to sleep late. I made my morning tea and everything, but I felt exhausted again. My husband and my dog were still in bed, sleeping, so I decided to take a quick nap and set a few alarms before starting my day fully. Ugh, excuse me. I ended up falling into this really vivid dream. All right? In this dream, I woke up in my bed, but my nightstand looked completely different. I was filled with random arts and crafts, stuff, markers, coloring books, and even this weird metal compass attached to a ruler that I've never seen in my life. I remember thinking, okay, this has to be a dream. My nightstand doesn't look like this. Okay. Pretty normal so far. But what really got me was that when I touched the object, it felt completely real. Like the texture, this metal, the way everything felt exactly like real life. I even told myself, I'm going to remember this. What's your name? And this is where it got real weird. Okay. I went right back into the same dreams, same room, same bed. But now my husband was there, awake, acting normal. He started teasing me, got on top of me and started making out with me and felt super real physically. This is getting a little freaky. All right. And I opened my eyes and woke up again. I was like, wait, so that wasn't him? All right. All right. I think she's just trying to like get something off her chest. Because, it seems real. And she, was having a great time with him, but, it wasn't him. So, either the worst happened, it was a dream, or I don't know. But I was still so sleepy, and then I closed my eyes again. And my dream continued again. I picked up right where it left off, but this time something fell off. It wasn't my husband anymore. Oh. I started seeing this creepy figure, low-key demon-like, and then just shadows at the same time. I felt something on top of me again, like someone was physically there, but I couldn't move at all. My body was completely stuck, and then my eyes felt really heavy, like I was trying so hard to keep them open, but couldn't. I could literally feel my eyeballs moving, trying to focus my eyes open. I had a bit of anxiety at that point because I realized what was happening, but I tried to stay calm. I focused on my breathing and told myself I needed to wake up. Eventually, I snapped out of it. The craziest part of how real everything felt, the objects, the touch, the pressure, none of it felt like a normal dream. It felt so vivid. Has anyone experienced something like this, especially with the part where you wake up multiple times in the same dream, turns into sleep paralysis? I'm not even gonna lie, the switch from my husband to whatever that was terrifying. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I probably messed up my REM sleep, with the alarms and constant waking up and going back to sleep. Wow, so far that one was, the weirdest one. I got a little chills, type. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I believe her. Like, at first, I was, messing around, but, I got real freaky. Um, oh gosh. Oh, I don't even want to open that. Let's rate this one. All right. Last one before we end the video, I'll keep doing these. Type. Old woman haunting my house. We're gonna rate it. All right. By Liv Rosie. All right. Last one, guys. Hope you like this. We're gonna do it again. Yeah. I've never posted in here, so please bear with me if my storytelling is not the best. Okay. My parents sold my childhood home 3 years ago, and I moved into a house which was built by a couple in the late 60s. The couple that built the house are the only other tenants ever owned the house. The woman had died sometime in the 2010s, and her husband died in the early 2023, and the house was sold to my parents in like 2023. That is just about my only knowledge we have about the previous tenants, and the house was like a 7 days time capsule. My parents, being fans of home flipping, decided to renovate and update the entire thing. The house looks beautiful now, but still holds the character of its original, which we love. All right, pretty good so far. 9-2 grouper. Before we moved in, we had brought our dog over a few times. She's a very smart dog and scared of absolutely nothing. This dog was gleefully watch fireworks on the 4th of July. Anyways, I was walking through the property with my brother and my dog, and I hadn't gotten to tour yet. There is a finished basement and an unfinished storage room with an old bathroom. I've never seen my dog so scared. She would bark and cry there and wait on the stairs for us to come up. She did the same with the old shit in the back of the backyard. Mostly brushed that off as being goofy as she tends to be. But other things started happening. Okay. It's getting scary now. I was in school, so I spent a lot of time at my desk, which was situated at the corner of my room. Countless times I've smelled a stale floral perfume come through like a draft and disappear. It is not a perfume my mom or I have, nor is similar to any of ours, as we both aren't fans of floral scents. I've always felt a sense of comfort when it comes through, though. Never been a scary feeling. Okay. Wait, so I don't understand. I was in school, so I spent a lot of time at my desk. Oh, okay. Never mind. Today, my mom and I was talking with one of her friends who was interested in paranormal stories like I am. My mom is not a believer in any of this stuff. She was mostly just listening to us talk. However, However, I am not sure how it came up, but my mom started talking about how one night she woke up and there was a woman with short white hair sitting at the edge of the bed holding a small white dog. For some reason, didn't freak my mom out at all, which makes me think the old woman gave her the same sense of comfort I feel with the perfume. The next day, my mom told my dad about what she saw and then looked at the obtrusious of the couple that had never seen photos of them, but I knew their last name. The first picture my dad pulled up was the same lady holding the same white dog that my mom had seen. My dad doesn't still doesn't believe her, and my mom didn't really dig much into it. But it makes me wonder a lot about the old woman still makes herself known, or is it just residual energy? Please let me know your thoughts. I know this was a long read and probably not super interesting, but I wanted to make sure I include all the details. Also, we posting the picture of my parents on the woman, the dog. It's not my. I will not be okay. Uh, the place and the couple has living children and grandchildren. It would feel wrong of me to post. Okay, yeah. Um, that was a little weird. I don't know. Now I'm gonna go turn on the lights because that wasn't too bad. None of them were really too bad, except like the last one we read. Uh, to be honest, I don't really believe them. Kinda not. But yeah, stay tuned, subscribe. We're gonna keep doing these. These were fun. I had a pretty fun time reading. I got my vocabulary up, and you guys get to listen to me talk, which is probably not fun for you guys, but whatever. See you later, alligators.